Good morning and welcome to the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation's Together for LA webinar series. Today we'll be covering the California Small Business COVID-19 Relief Grant Program's upcoming rounds for eligible nonprofit organizations and small businesses. I am Angela Amirkanyan, Program Manager and today's webinar moderator. LAEDC is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are a nonprofit public benefit organization whose mission is to harness the power of private sector in collaboration with Los Angeles County to guide economic development and create more widely shared prosperity. This webinar series is brought to you by one of our wonderful programs, Together for LA. Together for LA is a strategic partnership powered by LAEDC and enhanced by our partners whose logos you can see on the screen. And our collaborative mission is to strengthen and support women and diverse-owned small businesses in LA County as they strive to recover from the economic crisis that has been brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. So support is provided to these industries by no-cost technical assistance that is available to businesses of all sizes and industries, and with the mission to help businesses reopen and become resilient. And Together for LA would not have been possible with the generous sponsorship of Wells Fargo's Open for Business Fund. I'd like to bring your attention to our website, laedc.org/coronavirus. It is truly a one-stop hub for all things small business resources. So on your free time and after this webinar, please take a look at our website, laedc.org/coronavirus, which is updated on a daily basis with resources as they come up. As you know, resources and programs and grants and loan opportunities are continuously being made available. So if you visit the website, we have a wonderful filter system that you can narrow down all of the resources by your industry or your business type, or if you're looking for capital opportunities or workforce information and so on. So please take a moment to take a visit to our website. Now I would like to introduce my colleague, Leonard Barales. He is Regional Manager of Layoff Aversion, and he also provides technical assistance, and he is here to join us to talk about LAEDC's no-cost technical assistance and consulting services. So Leonard, thank you for joining us, and I will pass it over to you.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you for spending your morning with us. I hope that you find this information very meaningful. LAEDC offers business and technical assistance in a confidential manner to all kinds of business, small, mid-sized, and high employee numbers businesses, and including all the industry sectors. We have a team of multilingual business assistance experts that are available to help your business. And let me just mention some of those areas. Permitting assistance and expediting licenses, tax incentives, tax credits, business resources, programs for manufacturing companies, utility programs, cost reduction, among all of those, as you can see on our slide. But even if they're not, if you have something so unique, a challenge, do not hesitate to reach out to us because we can certainly help you to find the resources to overcome any specific challenge your business is going through. Next. Now, this blueprint will give you a visual idea on the areas where we can help your business. To give you an example, permit assistance, as I mentioned before, it permits with the city, with the County of Los Angeles, with the health department, with the fire department, with building and safety, financing. All business they need capital. The County of Los Angeles offer offer loans for expansion, for purchasing equipment, your traditional SBA. In terms of workforce development, through our affiliated agency, the America's Job Center, we can find you the right candidates. We can also find tax incentives and wage reimbursements upon hiring individuals. We can also give you with the information that you need to make decisions to expand your business, to relocate it. We also offer site selection and specific programs for manufacturing companies, lean manufacturing, the specific programs to find additional buyers through the program Made in California. Next.
Thank you, Leonard. Now, the reason why we have all gathered, we will be presenting information on the upcoming rounds of the California Small Business COVID-19 Grant Program, and we will share information about this grant, the application process, as well as eligibility. Please do use the Q&A function on Zoom. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please go ahead and submit them through the Q&A function, and we will do our best to address your questions towards the end of the program. So we appreciate your questions. And Leonard, I will pass it over to you once again to begin sharing information about this grant.
This particular program is funded through the state of California, and it's administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. Now, Lendistry, this is the sole entity designated to coordinate, the documentation that businesses will send to this agency, and also disbursement of funds. Lendistry is the main coordinator for this program. Some of the features of this particular program is this is not a first come first served basis. This grant are available up to $25,000 depending on eligibility. The minimum yearly gross revenue should be at least $1,000 and a maximum of $2.5 million. Companies with multiple locations, they cannot apply with multiple locations. The suggestion is to choose the one that has the highest sales value. The portal, you can see it at the bottom, www.carereliefgrant.com. Next. Now here's a breakdown of the grant amounts. If your business has an annual gross revenue of $1,000 up to $100,000, the grant amount could be $5,000. If your business is greater than $100,000 up to $1 million, $15,000 can be the granted amount. If your business makes $1 million to $2.5 million, the amount would be $25,000. Application number 7 is open now, and this is for waitlisted applicants for certain previous rounds. It was open on the 3rd, August the 3rd, and it will close on September the 16th. So it's within two weeks, we'll be closing. Now, this is for companies that have applied in the past. New companies do not need to reapply because the new application will not be accepted on this specific rounds. The eligible amounts is $5,000 to $25,000. And this is a closed funding round. Next. Application round number 8. This is for nonprofit cultural institutions only, and it was open on August the 27th through Wednesday, September the 8th. This is for nonprofit cultural institutions with the revenue size that meet the eligibility. The eligible grants again is $5,000 to $25,000. This is for institutions, nonprofit organizations must complete a new application even if they already applied in rounds 1, 2, 5, or 6. Specifically, those institutions that applied from round number 4 do not need to reapply. Okay. Grants will be prioritized based on the documentation percentage of revenue declines based on the reporting periods, meaning quarter 2 and 3 of 2020 against quarter 2, quarter 3 on 2019. Application 9. This is for new applicants and waitlisted applicants from previous rounds. This is will be open on September the 9th and it will close September the 30th. So it's pretty much the whole month of September. This is for current waitlisted applicants for certain previous rounds and new applicants that meet the eligibility requirements. Applicants not selected to move forward in the review process on rounds 1 through 7 do not need to reapply. They will be automatically moved to this round. Eligibility. Let's talk about eligibility. Small business or small nonprofit must satisfy the following criteria. It must meet the eligibility definition of small business. And you can see all the detailed designations: small business, sole proprietor, 1099, nonprofit, 501c. You can read those. Number 2, active businesses or nonprofits, they must be operating since at least June the 1st, 2019. Businesses must currently be operating or have a clear path to reopen once the state of California permits it. Businesses must be impacted by COVID-19. Businesses must be able to provide organizing documents, including 2019, the federal tax returns or Form 990. Number 6, business must be able to provide acceptable ID given by the government. Number 7, applicants with multiple entities, as I mentioned before, franchises, locations, they're not eligible for multiple grants. You're only allowed to apply once using the eligible small business with the highest revenue. Thank you. Next. Ineligible business. Business without physical location in California. Nonprofit organization not registered either 501c3, 501c19, or 501c6. Government entities. Business primarily engaged in lobbying. Passive business, investment companies, churches, or religious institutions. Financial businesses primarily engage on lending, such as bank financing companies, factoring companies. Business engaged in any illegal activity under any jurisdiction. Businesses related to the sex industry. Business engaged in social undesirable activity, such as rent-to-own business and check cashing businesses. Continue with ineligible businesses. Businesses that restrict patronage for any other reason other than capacity. Businesses involved in the speculation industry. Business in which one of the owners or the owner greater than 10% of the equity and interest has been involved or convicted or has a civil judgment rendered against such owner. Number 14, affiliated companies. Number 15, multiple businesses, again, franchises, multiple locations, they're now eligible for multiple grants. You must apply it again using the eligible branch with the highest volume. Now, how this grant will be processed? The process is going to go through Lendistry again, through their portal. And it's going to be in 2 stages. The applicants will upload selected financial documents, identification documents, and business certification regarding the accuracy and the veracity of information submitted. Stage number 2, applicants that are provided for funding will be requested to provide additional documentation for the grant disbursement. Grants eligible for nonprofit cultural institutions will be prioritized on documented percentage revenue declines based on those reporting periods, as I mentioned before, quarter number 2 and quarter number 3 of 2020 against quarter number 2 and 3 of 2019. Lendistry will distribute the grants, and Lendistry also will arrange to deliver the applicable tax reforms to the grantees. The prioritization of the program, it will be conducted in several criteria. Number 1 is geographic distribution. Those areas that were mostly impacted. Number 2, by industry sector. And as you can see, the listings of those sectors, such as educational services, arts and entertainment, accommodation and food services, apparel manufacturing, clothing accessory stores, sporting goods, transit ground passenger transportation, scenic and sightseeing transportation, motion pictures, personal and laundry services, newspaper, periodicals, books, and directory publishers. Nonprofit mission services most impacted by the pandemic, meaning the ones that are related to emergency food provisions, emergency housing stability, childcare, and workforce development. Disadvantaged communities, tracked down by socioeconomic indicators also will be a priority. Next. Required documentation. Application certification, meaning that you will need to self-certify the accuracy of information by signing the application certification. The business financial information, you must provide the recent federal tax return file 2019 and providing an electronic form for online uploading, a copy of the filing of the California Secretary of State, and a government issue ID. Next. Round number 8 and 9 required documentation for small business and nonprofits. The following is required for applicants in stage 1: a copy of the signed application certification, a copy of most recent federal tax file 2019, an acceptable governmental ID, an acceptable evidence that your minimum gross annual revenue is no less than $1,000 per year. Now, the following information is required for applicants in stage number 2. Organizing documents, including, as I said before, 2019 federal tax returns or Form 990. Number 2, for eligible nonprofit entity applicants, a copy of the entity's most recent IRS tax exemption letter, and verification of bank account via electronic registration or other approved review process. Now I'd like to turn it into my colleague, Angela.
Thank you so much, Leonard. Thank you for presenting that important information. I know that was a lot of information to digest, but please don't worry. We will be posting a recording of today's webinar up on our website this week. So you can definitely watch it over, and the slides will also be available to review once again. Before we move on to Q&A, I do want to mention a few important application tips that will be helpful for you as you're applying for the application. So the number 1 tip is that you must apply through a partner. So in order to apply for the grant, you'll need to do so through a partner. If you visit the website of the application portal, you can find a partner through either by language or by county. So there will be a drop down of various options for you to filter through. You may select any partner that serves your specific area where your business is located. Each county and all languages will have at least one partner from which businesses can choose to apply. Some counties and languages will have more options than others. So definitely find a partner that is applicable to where your business is located or by language in order to be eligible to apply for this application. When you are on the portal and ready to apply, it is recommended that you use a Google Chrome browser. So that's an important tip to keep note of. Submit all your documents in PDF format. As you know, grants typically require a lot of documents that is necessary, and it is recommended to upload them in only PDF format. It is also important that the size also matches the requirements of your documents. And when you are creating the file name, please do not include any special characters. If your file is password protected, you will need to enter it in the portal. Otherwise, the selection committee will not be able to view this document. A very important one is the email address that you use. You must use a valid email address. And a valid email address means that your email address cannot be any of the following. It can't be an info@laedc.org, and it can't be an laedc@contact.com nor @noreply.com. So please use a legitimate email address and one that you typically check, because the status of your application, and if you do get selected, will be sent to this email address. Apply using the correct application for your business. This is a very important one. There's various rounds and there's various applications for either whether you're a small business or a nonprofit organization. So please make sure you apply for the correct one. And each application type is labeled with a different colored box. So please pay very close attention to this. And lastly, apply for grant based on your business classification. So this is in line with number 4. So whether you're a for-profit business, whether you're a nonprofit organization, and if you're a arts and cultural nonprofit organization, there are 3 different applications. So please make sure you select the one that is most applicable to your business. Okay, we will now move into our Q&A session and we'll take a few questions. Please note if your question is not addressed, we will be in touch with everyone that has attended and registered today's webinar. Our technical assistance team will be in contact with you directly to further schedule some time to answer any outstanding questions, to help you fill out the application, to assist you with the application process, as well as any further needs that you may have. So it will be a complimentary and confidential session where our technical assistance rep can provide any additional resources or services that may be beneficial for you and your company. Whether you're struggling or you're growing, there's really something for everyone. All right, so I do see a lot of questions about if I've applied for a certain round and if I've already received funding, can I apply for this one? So this is a question that we typically get, and we strongly advise to visit the application portal to take a look at any additional conflicts. So typically for some grants, for example, if you've received a PPP loan, you may not apply for an additional loan. So there may be there may be conflict. So we strongly advise visiting the website. If for new upcoming rounds, Lendistry does not open all rounds at the same time. So if you do not qualify for any of these specific rounds, there may be additional grants based on funding availability. So we are only aware of round 7, 8, 9 at this time, but if there's any eligible or any that are upcoming, we will be sharing that on our website as well. All right, we have a question. If we need assistance in regards to terminating our commercial building lease, who should we contact? So fortunately, these are exactly the types of services that we like to assist businesses with. My colleagues, including Leonard and the rest of the team, will contact you based on where your business is located. So if you take a visit to our website, laedc.org/coronavirus, there is a contact us button on the very top of the homepage. If you click on the contact us button, you will be guided to a short form. And on this form, other than your general contact information, we will be asking you for a little blurb about your needs. Once we receive that form from you, someone from our team will contact you directly to further address your needs, such as any issues with commercial building leases. Okay. Leonard, I know that we mentioned this one, but please feel free to
Sure.
repeat this little note. The gross revenue mentioned, is that based on 2019 or 2020? Our business was severely impacted by COVID in 2020, but prior to that, our revenue is higher than 2.5 million.
Sure. As I mentioned before, it is a comparison of the quarters second and third of 2020 versus quarters of second and third of 2019. Based on those comparisons, there will, but the highest revenue you could have is $2.5 million. So unfortunately, if your business either in 2019 had a gross income revenue or above that amount, you do not qualify. However, feel free to reach out to us. There's still a lot of funding from other sources. Maybe we can reach out to other non-traditional sources of funding for your specific needs. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'll be more than glad to help you.
Thank you, Leonard. And that's a very good point. If you do not qualify for this specific grant, there's many others per industry, if you're a women-owned business, there's really various options and opportunities for businesses if you do not qualify for this one. And we are constantly learning about new grants as they come up. So on our website, you can also filter by capital, which will give you all financial opportunities, including grants and loans that you can apply for. There's a question that says, if I've already applied for the grant, should I reapply? The answer is no. There is a specific round for applicants that have previously applied, so you do not need to apply. Round 7 is actually if you have applied for another one, you are rolled over into this round, for example. But for application rounds 8 and 9 are for new businesses that have not applied for the grant. One round is specifically for nonprofit and cultural institutions. And the last round is really open for all small businesses as well as nonprofits. So please take advantage of these as they are now open and accepting applicants.
Yeah, I think the idea is it looks like the funding now is, so to speak, is customized. And we try to distribute to businesses that previously they did not receive funding. So if you receive funding, it most likely will not qualify. Mm-hmm. But again, reach out to us. There's still a lot of funding for specific needs. The state of California, the economic development team of the governor's office, has multiple programs, incentives for food manufacturing companies, for companies that they need to convert their equipment to a much more environmental friendly purposes. So reach out to us. We're more than glad to listen to your needs and find the necessary resources for your business.
Thank you, Leonard. And a few people are asking for our contact information. Once again, the best way to get in contact with us is through the contact us button on our homepage. And like I mentioned, you'll be led to a business intake form in order for us to receive some further information, such as your contact information, as well as your business location, and a business assistance rep will get in contact with you directly. Also, someone from our team will get in contact with you via email, so please keep an eye out on that. Whether you've attended or simply registered, someone from the team will actually contact you specifically for any further information. And with that said, I do want to mention that Together for LA has been doing a webinar series. We host the webinar twice a month with various topics specific to small businesses, specific to women-owned and diverse-owned businesses. So please take a look at our website, once again, laedc.org/coronavirus, for great resources to take advantage of, as well as our upcoming webinar series. But please expect that we do 2 a month on various topics, including if there's a new grant, a specific resource that we want to share with our networks, or if it's a topic such as, digital presence and social media. With that said, we actually have one coming up on September 16th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And this webinar will specifically be on social media. We have a guest speaker from J Squared Communications, and she will be sharing 5 ways to repurpose your content for social media. As we know, COVID has given us a new virtual digital world that we are all trying to still adjust to. So it's really important to learn all the tips and tools for your business's digital presence. So if you haven't already registered for this one, you can do so. A shortcut to our calendar of events is tinyurl.com/TFLA webinars. And lastly, if anyone wants to get in contact with us by phone, it's 213-622-4300. However, the best way to contact us is through our website or once someone from the team gets in contact with you. We thank you all for joining us once again this morning to learn about the grant program. We hope the information presented was of value with you. Please check back for the recording of the webinar if you missed anything or if you have any further questions. We truly look forward to working with you and serving with you, and we are Together for LA. So thank you to Leonard and everyone that has joined us this morning. Have a wonderful rest of the week and a wonderful holiday weekend.
Thank you.